I was Eliza, one of the settlers aboard the Lady Mercy, desperately seeking refuge from persecution in the old world. Our journey had been a never-ending nightmare of tempestuous seas and relentless storms. For weeks, we had clung to hope like driftwood in the vast ocean, our destination an elusive dream. Then, one foggy morning, I awoke to the sound of "Land ho!" My heart raced as I scrambled to the deck to see it for myself. The sight that met my eyes was unlike any I had ever seen. An impenetrable shroud of fog clung to the coastline like a ghostly embrace. The tattered crew and disheartened passengers gathered to witness our eerie arrival. The fog was thick and oppressive, concealing the land's secrets within its icy tendrils. As we approached the enigmatic shore, I felt a sense of foreboding creep over me. It was as if the very mist held dark mysteries that it was reluctant to reveal. The settlers, including myself, were compelled to lower rowboats into the water and venture into the unknown. Captain Jonathan Hawke, a weathered mariner with salt-encrusted whiskers, led the way. We stepped onto the shore, our footsteps echoing eerily through the silence. The harbour, though shrouded in mist, possessed an eerie beauty. Rocky cliffs towered on one side, while on the other, an ancient forest loomed like a brooding guardian. The trees were tall and gnarled, their branches intertwining like twisted fingers, whispering secrets to one another. In the distance, I caught a faint glimmer, a feeble light cutting through the fog. My curiosity got the best of me and I followed it. As we drew nearer, it revealed itself to be a lighthouse, a stark, black and white striped tower standing sentinel on the rocky promontory. The lighthouse was both a beacon of hope and a harbinger of uncertainty. Its light had guided us to safety, yet it also seemed to beckon us towards an unknown, perhaps perilous fate. We established our camp at its base, our lanterns casting eerie shadows on the rocks. Days turned into weeks as we explored our mysterious refuge. We foraged for edible plants and berries in the Whispering Woods, a name the settlers had given to the dense forest. The gnarled trees watched our every move, their whispered secrets a constant presence. The Whispering Woods were a place of wonder and dread. Game was abundant, and the forest provided for our needs. But as night fell, it came alive with eerie sounds, a chorus of mournful cries, rustling leaves, and footsteps that seemed to echo our own. One evening, as we gathered around a campfire, I shared a tale that sent shivers down the spines of my fellow settlers. I had ventured deep into the Whispering Woods, drawn by the haunting melodies of an otherworldly flute. Following the enchanting music, I stumbled upon a moonlit clearing. In the centre of that clearing, I saw her, a spectral woman in a flowing white gown, her long raven-black hair cascading like a waterfall. She played a haunting melody on a translucent flute, her mournful eyes fixed on mine. As I approached, the woman disappeared into thin air, leaving behind only the echo of her mournful tune. My fellow settlers listened in hushed silence, their faces reflecting a mixture of fear and intrigue. The Whispering Woods, I realized, were not just a realm of shadows and secrets. They were a place where the past and present intertwined, a place where the living and the dead coexisted in an eternal dance. Days turned into months, and we adapted to our strange existence in Spooky Harbour. We built homes from timber we found in the forest and carried on with our lives. Captain Hawke, however, became increasingly obsessed with the lighthouse, spending hours gazing out to sea. One fateful night, as dense fog settled over the harbour, we were awakened by the mournful tolling of a ship's bell in the distance. The Lady Mercy had returned, its spectral outline visible through the thick mist. We watched in horror as the ship, crewed by ghostly figures, sailed silently into the harbour. Captain Hawke, his eyes glazed with a feverish determination, was drawn to the lighthouse once more. The spectral captain at the helm seemed to beckon him, his bony hand gesturing towards the lantern room. Ignoring our pleas, Captain Hawke ascended the spiralling stairs, his lantern casting eerie, shifting shadows. At the top of the lighthouse, he stood before the lantern, mesmerized by its eerie glow. It was then that I saw her, the spectral woman who had lured me into the whispering woods. She stood before Captain Hawke, her eyes filled with sorrow and longing. With a mournful smile, she extended her hand towards him. The following morning, the fog lifted, revealing an empty harbour. The Lady Mercy had vanished once more, taking Captain Hawke with it. We were left in bewildered silence, our hearts heavy with a profound loss. As time passed, we settled into our strange existence, never knowing if we were truly alive or bound by the supernatural forces that enveloped our refuge. The whispering woods continued to whisper secrets, and the lighthouse, now a beacon for lost souls, stood as a sentinel over the haunted harbour. The legend of the settlers who sought refuge in Spooky Harbour has been passed down through the generations, a tale of a desperate crossing that led to an eternal twilight, where the living and the dead coexist in an eternal dance of shadows and whispers. Spooky Harbour remains a place where the past and present are forever intertwined, and its eerie history continues to captivate those who dare to listen to its mournful tales.